What is up, everyone? This is Raphael Garcia back with this week's edition of MMA Ratings Hangout. I'm here on June 21st. Talk about combat sports, world of MMA. We'll talk a little boxing. Adrian Broner fought last night. L. And yeah, I don't think there's really anything big for wrestling wise to talk about, but I could probably find something to ramble on about there from that sport as well. So as always, we're going to jump right into things, talk about some of the stuff that went on this past week. But before we do, you can always give myself a follow at rgarcia_sports on Twitter. You can catch everything I'm talking about the sports industry there. I usually rant about a couple other things there too, but I try to keep it sports specific. You can follow MMA Ratings at MMA Ratings Net on Instagram and Twitter. Check us out, both of those spots there. Michael Ford is also a big individual on the site too as well, so be sure to catch him and give him a follow too. So we're going to talk about UFC Fight Night from last night or yesterday afternoon actually, because it was live from Berlin, and it was the first UFC event that featured a title fight on Fight Pass. So it was a pretty important event because for a couple of different reasons. One, the UFC strawweight champion Joanna Jędrzejczyk was the main event against Jessica Penne, and we'll talk about that fight as well. Only other fight I'm really interested in talking about is the Tatsuya Kawajiri Dennis Seeger co-main event. While there was some good action throughout the card, I think that's really where the name value stands at this event for right now. Some of these other guys may grow. As always, the UFC is trying to build their brand across the world, so they need some of these European stars to develop into bigger names. But right now, I'm just not going to talk about them right now. I'm not going to say they're not worth it, but I'm not going to touch on them right now. It's going to focus on the main event, co-main event, and then just some things coming up with this weekend UFC event. So the main event of the evening, Joanna, I like to call her JJ just to make it easier, but she beat the living hell out of Jessica Penne and got a finish at the 4 minute 20-second mark of round three. Jessica tried to make things interesting at the very start. She was a jiu-jitsu black belt. She tried to take Joanna down, but even we've seen a steady improvement with Joanna's takedown defense and her ability to get back to the feet when she does get taken down. She scrambled back up to her feet quickly and just continued putting the pressure on Jessica. Just battered her with strikes, really messed up her face. Probably the bloodiest we've seen a women's fight get in MMA at this point. She left a hematoma on Bene's forehead, cut her across the nose, I believe, and above the eye too as well. There was just blood all over the place. And I think John McCarthy, no, Mark Goddard brought the fight to a close just because of the repeated knees that Panay was eating against the cage in the third round. Joanna is someone that can really be a star in the sport. She is definitely very interesting. She has a great personality. If you ever listen to any of her interviews, any of her post-fight press conferences, like she talks a good game. She doesn't go over the top like maybe a Conor McGregor might do, but she knows how to hype herself up, hype up fights that to put them in a position that people will want to watch them. And she has an opinion on everything, and she's not afraid to say it, which makes her a very interesting character to watch going forward. And then when she gets into the cage, she does what she needs to do. She dominates competitors. She beats everybody up, and she's 10-0 at this point in time. Other than her fight with Claudia Gadelha at UFC on Fox 13, we'll touch on Claudia in a minute, but that was the only fight that has been close to this point in time. Any other point that she steps into the competition, she's basically dominating anyone. I am very impressed with what I saw by her. I think UFC can build her into a star. Adam Martin wrote a piece this week on on MMA ratings about how she can become the Ronda Rousey of this division, and I agree with him in principle. I know what he's trying to say, but I think I think she has the opportunity to become a different type of star. Not someone who's obviously dominating her division, but I think that this division is a little bit more tough than the women's bantamweight group is, and I feel like Joanne is a different type of champion, someone who's more about the competition first rather than outside opportunities. And I'm not saying that Ronda is, but a lot of those opportunities are kind of opening up to her. I don't think Joanna will see that same type of success, but she's someone who can definitely become a star in the sport just in a different way. Someone who can be known as one of the greatest in her position to do it if she continues going on this path. So yeah, she definitely took a dominating win on Saturday. I'm looking forward to seeing what's next with her. I think the UFC can really benefit from putting her up into some tough matchups. Claudia Gadelha is fighting Jessica Aguilar at UFC 190, and that is an important fight because Jessica Aguilar was long time she was ranked the top strawweight in the sport, even though she never competed in the UFC. She was the World Series of Fighting strawweight champion, and they recently released her from her contract, and she signed with UFC. Her and Jessica I were actually in Bellator for a little while. I believe no, they weren't. Excuse me. Jessica Aguilar was still kind of ranked one of the. I think she was. Yeah, I thought so. Jessica Aguilar was definitely ranked. Or she was in Bellator where she had wins over Carla Esparza and Megumi Fuji. She even had a close split decision loss to Zolia Fausto, who's George Pagel's former wife, I believe, former wife, I'm not sure if it's still married. But she had some valuable wins there before being brought over to World Series of Fighting, where she's fought three times since 2014. She fought three times last year and was victorious each one our fight. But like a lot of the other champions in World Series, that organization really can't offer too much when it comes to available competition. So with her moving over to the UFC, she's set to fight Claudia Gadelha at UFC 190. Claudia is obviously the individual who took Joanna to a tough split decision back at UFC on Fox 14. I still think she won that fight. I think that the Brazilian did enough to win that fight. I was looking at MMA decisions earlier today. Of the 14 media outlets that were questioned, 12 picked Claudia Claudia as the winner of that fight. So it'll be interesting to see if she can get past Jessica Aguilar. I do pick her in this fight. I don't think Aguilar's fought anyone of this level. Even her fight against Paula Esparza, I'm not really too impressed with Paula, especially after the way she looked against Joanna. So I'm not too hyped up on Aguilar's presence in the UFC. I think she'll do well. I think she'll remain a top five contender. I just don't think she's if she was given a direct title fight, I wouldn't have been mad at that either. But this is a good entry fight for her into the organization. I just don't think she's going to get past the Brazilian at UFC 190, especially since they're fighting in Rio. So you never know what may happen with the judges down there. But I would hope that the UFC kind of waits on the rematch between Joanna and Gadelha, and maybe give her another fight, like a Rose. Give her Rose for a minute, and I think she would blow Rose apart before making this rematch here. And there's also Paige Van Zandt, who obviously I think is not ready for a title shot. That's not what I'm saying at this time, but she's another individual who can be built up into a viable contender for Joanna and make another big fight there. Everyone loves Paige basically because of how she looks, but at this point in time, when she got to the cage with Joanna, I think Joanna would destroy her in maybe like 2 rounds or so. So yeah, that's definitely. I'm excited for this weight class. I look forward to the fights. I think there's some good fights at the top of the division here, and this division is definitely more um, competitive than the women's bantamweight division, simply because there are more potential contenders. I think that there's more opportunity for great fights. You don't have to worry about getting down towards the lower part of the weight class and seeing individuals who shouldn't really be in the UFC at all. So I'm excited for what we see here. We still have Michelle Watterson as well. She's debuting at 115 pounds, which obviously I think is outside of her normal competition weight. But she's another individual who has a following that the UFC could build around. So I'm definitely excited about what I see for the UFC strawweight division going forward. We also got to see Sasuke Kawajiri, who's who I'm definitely a fan of. He defeated Dennis Siver Dennis Siver, excuse me, in a 3-round unanimous decision. I was excited with what I saw there. Calgary's 37 years old. He's been someone I've enjoyed watching even before the loss to Gilbert Melendez back in 2011. He's looked good coming into the UFC. Yeah, he had that loss to Clay Guida last year, a little more than a year ago. It was good to see him coming back into the organization and just continue competing. He's not someone who's going to be a title challenger or anything like that, but he's definitely someone that UFC can use next time they go over to Japan. Someone that they can capture a lot of attention when they use his name over there. So I was glad to see him get the win. Seaver, he's on a 2-fight losing streak. He's kind of fed to Conor McGregor, and a lot of people are expecting him to take this win here, but he was not able to do it. I think he still has some value to the organization. He's also someone who's getting up there in age, but his fighting style lends itself to some exciting bouts. Like I mentioned, that's really all I want to talk about from this Fight Pass event this past weekend. I mentioned there was a lot of guys in there that aren't too well known within the sport, so I'm not going to focus too much on their fights right now. But I'm going to turn my attention towards UFC Fight Night 70, which is this weekend, which features Lyoto Machida against Yoel Romero in the main event. So a lot about I'm looking forward to. It's unfortunate that the Eric Silva Rick Story fight is no longer going on. I believe Story has some visa issues. There's a couple of fighters actually that were pulled off of this card because of travel issues, and now they are kind of relocating those bouts. I was looking forward to seeing Story and Silva. I think that would have been a good test for both fighters to see where they really belong in this division. I think Story is on a kind of like a turnaround, especially after he took that win over Gunnar Nelson last year. So I'm definitely thinking he's on a turnaround type of quest right now. And I've always thought that Eric Silva was overrated. And I kind of figured this fight was going to show that once again. But we'll get to see it at a later date. Instead, we still get Machida and Romero in the main event, and I think this is a big important fight here because I could see either guy winning. Machida's coming off of that devastating loss to Luke Rockhold where he just got smashed in the second round and finished off. He's been coming out saying that he thinks Rocco scored some illegal strikes. There were a lot of people who thought that Rocco's elbow was to the back of the head. It looked questionable. When I saw it, I definitely thought that was the back of the head. But that's in the past. We're not going to go back and change any fight results. So we are where we are right now, and Machida versus Romero is an important fight for both of them. Romero, on the other hand, he is someone who he had that fight with Jacare playing twice. It fell out both times due to each individual getting. Well, I think each individual got injured once. Jacare had the pneumonia the first time around, and Romero had the knee injury this time, with the most recent, which forced the fight off the card and made way for this one to be made. And I'm interested in seeing it because there's opportunity for both guys here. I can see Machida being able to outstrike Romero in every facet of the game. He's definitely going to be the better striker. His in and out style is still cumbersome for anyone to deal with. Romero lands with a lot of power. He has that Olympic wrestling in his back pocket as well too. I don't think that Machida has faced a wrestler that's that great. That is as good as Romero with his takedowns. He's faced some great wrestlers in the past. Chris Weidman, obviously, who took him down. Rashad Evans, who he blew away. Rocco's a good wrestler. Who else? And John Jones, obviously, too, as well. But Romero definitely has the best credentials of the group. And this is just an interesting matchup for both guys. Right now, I'm siding with Romero edging out a decision win. I'm not concerned. I'm not going to use the word concerned, but I just think that Machida's on his way down in the sport. He's been struggling as of late, and I just don't see him being able to continue doing what he's done for so long. I feel like people have figured out his game, figured out how to fight him. I expect Romero to not allow him to dart in and out with a lot of strikes. I'm looking for Romero to get inside the clinch, try to use a lot of takedowns, and just be able to wear on his opponent in this fight here. That's how I kind of see it going, and that's just why I'm leaning towards picking him in the main event. I think this is a win that will help him be next in line after, or not necessarily next in line. If he gets this win, Jacare still has a lot of clout in the division. Maybe they go back and rebook that fight because Rocco and Jacare are both still in front of Romero when it comes to getting title fights at the middleweight champion. So maybe they do attempt to make that fight again, and hopefully they put it on the same card where Rocco and Wyden will fight. That way, you'll have a little bit of insurance, a little bit of leeway moving guys around. So hopefully that's what they'll do. But I think Romero is still on the outside looking in when it comes to title shots. This is a fight that can help straighten that situation out and get him a little bit closer than he currently is. Lorenz Larkin is coming down to welterweight for the second time in the co-main event against Santiago. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his last name, but seeing Larkin at welterweight during the last fight was awesome. When I think he defeated John Howard, he knocked him out. But Larkin has looked really good moving down to 170. I think like that's where he belongs, I guess. Because he lost four of his last six. And it was definitely, you forget that this guy has a win over the current welterweight champion Robbie Lawler. So if he puts together a couple of key wins now, this would be a good opportunity for him to use that storyline to present Larkin as one of the top contenders. We're a long way off from that, maybe even a year or so. But these are the type of fights that will help build that team going forward. I'm looking for Larkin to get the win here. He looked really good at 170. I hope the weight cut goes well. I think this is where he belongs. When he came over from Strikeforce, he was someone that a lot of people had a lot of anticipation in, a lot of hype that followed him. He just hasn't lived up to that potential at 185. So seeing him move down to 170, he looked good last time. He looked fast, looked powerful. Hopefully he can keep that up and remain relevant with another win this Saturday. Hakon Diaz, I'm also looking forward to seeing him. He's fighting Big Run, Marcus Rebelli. I think that's going to be a good fight that a lot of people aren't going to know about coming in. Hakon's one of those Nova União guys who's done fairly well for himself since joining the UFC, and Yvonne is someone that a lot of people have had a lot of hype on. Even his last fight, he took it on short notice, and people weren't. And even then, it wasn't a great performance. He took a split decision win. This fight right here is a fight that he can that both guys can really take a valuable win from once the dust settles. So I'm looking forward to seeing that fight at featherweight as well too. And that's really like it for me, man. Like this fight is right now is booked with 9 fights. I think they just the UFC just announced a couple of others to kind of fill in for some of the guys who had visa issues to kind of fill out the card, but it's not going to be a big name event. Another one of those big name events that has a whole bunch of guys on it. So that's what we're scheduled to see this weekend in the world of MMA. Yesterday, Saturday as well, um, Adrian Broner fought, like as I mentioned, he's kind of like one of the bigger names in boxing right now, especially with Floyd Mayweather doing his thing on his way out. You don't have the Manny Pacquiao on his way out. You don't really have a guy who we're looking forward to in the future. You have Triple G as well, but there's people that are still skeptical about him. Broner was supposed to be kind of like the second coming of Mayweather. He tried to mimic himself after Floyd with all the brass talking and all that crap, but when it comes to into the ring, he's struggled and in the key ways. But this was his second professional loss. This is his second loss, and Sean Porter has basically beat him beat him to the punch in every way. He just kind of controlled. He's kind of controlled. Uh, Burner just kind of over, just like bullied him basically, like almost big brother him for 12 rounds to get the unanimous decision win. Not really too surprised on. I think everybody's picking Burner to take the win here. I've never been really sold on him. I'm looking forward to seeing what's next. I think the PBC is definitely something that's very exciting. It's definitely a awesome setup for boxing, and if it gets the traction that is needed, it could help rebuild boxing as a sport in general. Heavyweight boxing is always going to be the marquee, but that's kind of really on the decline. It's been on the decline for so long since there aren't too many great heavyweights out there. But the other weight classes do offer some key fights, and looking at these guys coming through the BBC, I'm excited to see PBC, excuse me, I'm excited to see what's next. We always have Andre Ward out there too as well, who I read a piece on him the other day about him struggling to get fights. So if you're a fan of boxing, there's definitely a lot going on. But, that is what it is. I'm going to draw this episode to a close because as I mentioned, there wasn't a whole lot of name-worthy action going on. Oh, actually, let me back up. I almost forgot. I literally, legit, almost forgot about Bellator 138. And this is that. It's funny. I'm sitting here thinking about this. Like I watched it Friday, but I kind of pushed it out of my mind simply because I didn't want to be. I didn't want to talk about that foolishness that I saw, but yeah, wow. So obviously, you had the main event where Kimbo Slice knocked out Ken Shamrock. I think it was like a little less than 230, maybe 221 or something like that. And I really don't know how this is going to affect the sport because obviously, as it was going on, people who I know don't watch the MMA consistently were texting me asking me about the fight. They were asking me about Kimbo. And I was kind of surprised because like I didn't even know you knew this fight was going on tonight. But I want to see what the ratings were for that night because they get some ridiculous number. You cannot be mad at Scott Coker doing what he needs to do to make that money. Um, it was an opportunity. They got an opportunity to feature Daniel Strauss, Michael Chandler, and Pitbull, who had probably one of the best knockouts of the year so far when he put Daniel Weichel with the sleep, like put that man right in his tomb with that left hand that he's used to knock out so many guys in the past. So it was an opportunity to feature those guys. They announced that Tito Ortiz is getting a title shot against Liam McGarry. I think Tito is going to get himself killed, but he's going to make 6 figures on that fight. And they also have another tournament coming up with Linton Bassel, King Mo, Manuel Newton, and I can't think of the fourth name, Phil Davis. So like that is like a pretty big deal there too as well. So it was all in all, it was a good show. It definitely had pro wrestling feel to it. It featured Bobby Lashley as well too. He looked good in his fight. I'm surprised he didn't blow his excuse. I thought he was gonna run out of gas during that fight, but so they got value out of it. It's just like what is next? Like how do they continue topping themselves if this is like the content that they put out there? They definitely put a quote unquote freak show fight as the main event. So are they going to continue with these freak show type showcases as the main event? Are they going to continue doing that? Are they going to? I mean, they almost have to. They almost have to at this point in time. So we'll see what happens. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the ratings numbers from Bellator 138. I'm sure that there will be some conversation around that this week. But man, we just got to see some out and out foolishness on Friday night in the world of MMA. From then intros, the fighter walkouts were absolutely hilarious. So yeah, I'm not mad at them, but it is what it is. That's kind of it is what it is. Like that's really what we gotta look at it. That they're doing all they can to get as many ratings as they can within the world of sports. So now I'm going to bring the show to a close. Now that I've touched upon that, Again, if you want to follow MMA Ratings Net, go to MMA Ratings Net on Instagram and Twitter. Be sure to go to the website MMAratings.net where you can rank all the fighters. You can rank their recent contests and their recent fight events as well. Follow me at rgarcia_sports. I will be back for a podcast this coming Sunday to talk more about UFC Fight Night 70, Michio Rocco, and everything else going on in the sport of MMA, pro wrestling, boxing, combat sports in general. Thank you for listening and have a great Sunday, everyone.